The National Economic Council says the security situation in the country has improved tremendously, and Council is also excited that Nigeria is inching closer to a certification on total polio eradication.
TVC News State House correspondent Femi Akande reports on the details of the meeting presided over by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo.
The National Economic Council seems to be clearly impressed with the security situation in the country. Council was briefed on the report of a subcommittee for security and policing headed by Governor Kayode Fayemi. The committee says the closure of the country's land borders also largely contributed to the reduction in insecurity. It appears governors have also paid close attention to the health sector, especially primary health care and the eradication of polio.
That the security situation in the country has tremendously improved, and we've seen improved zonal collaboration and meetings with the various zones in the country, meaning that amongst the 6 zones, we've seen a lot of integration and communication at zonal level amongst the governors and amongst the security operatives at various zones.
Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning updated the Economic Council on balances in some key accounts and the latest on the budget support facility deduction.
For the excess crude account, as at 19th of November 2019, we have a balance of $324,963 In the stabilization account, as at 17th of December 2019, we have a balance of 30,479,704,808 naira. In the Natural Resource Development Fund, still at the same date, 17th of December 2019, we have a balance of 88,283,218,914 naira and 40 kobo.
Reports of subcommittees set up at previous council meetings were provided. There was details of how pension funds can be used for infrastructure development. Also, the need to review the Mining Act and upgrade it to deal with current challenges and modern-day realities. This is the 100th meeting of the National Economic Council, and it is the last for the year. Femi Akande, TVC News, Abuja.
Let's now bring in our senior correspondent, Femi Akande, who is on standby to tell us more about this. Femi, it appears so much has actually happened within the period under review. But going into 2020, what are the expectations or the high points now that the National Economic Council is looking out for?
Yes, the National Economic Council is already making projections going into next year, and that has to do with improved security, better healthcare delivery, and access to quality healthcare. Talking about security, you know, the National Economic Council talked about improved synergy between regional synergy. That's geopolitical zones now. They say there's a robust communication among geopolitical zones, and that has enhanced the security of lives and property. And there are hopes that moving into 2020, this will be sustained. But they also talked about the drastic reduction in the height of insecurity in the country. This, they say, is commendable. But, you know, if you look at all of these and juxtapose it with the statement of the National Security Advisor just a few days ago, where he complained about the proliferation of small and light weapons in the country, where he says there are about 1 million small arms in the country, and that is 10% of the number of small weapons on the continent. In Africa, there are about 10 million small weapons in Africa, and Nigeria alone has a large fraction, that is 10% of that number. And the National Security Advisor raised an alarm about this, but the National Economic Council is coming out to say that yes, there's actually a drop in in the level of insecurity, and that is largely because of the border closure. All border crimes have been prevented because of the closure of Nigeria's borders, and even the conflicts in other regions like Libya and other areas in the Sahel region have not been able to rub off on Nigeria because of the border closure. This, they say, is commendable. And also the basic primary health care.
All right, Femi, yes, indeed, healthcare, a very integral part of that. All right, and another significant event in the course of the year was that of the minimum wage, and there was a whole lot of going back and forth about whether or not states are comfortable with the new agreed wage. What is the position of the council?
Yes, you know, the council is made up of state governors, or 36 state governors, and you know, just yesterday they had the Nigeria Governors Forum where that question was put to the chairman of the governors from Kayode Fayemi, and he says the states will pay the national minimum wage, and there's no contention about that. That has been agreed already. The states are all on one page and have agreed to pay the national minimum wage. A lot of these states had to do a wide range of consultations with labor workers in their state, and there's an agreement already at different state levels on what each state will pay. But one thing they are saying is that the issue of the national minimum wage is not in contention. Bosede.
All right, Femi Akande, our senior correspondent, speaking to us from Abuja.